welcome to this mechanical engineering class. Okay, so here I have already given the syllabus to you in my first class, and uh, I will start from the chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4, that one I think you have written. That chapter is your properties of the pure substances. Okay, unit 3, or you can say that chapter is 3. Okay, here first of all we'll study this one. Okay, what is actually pure substance? So do you have any idea about any pure substance? Do you know, students?
No, sir.
Do you have any idea? Any idea about pure substance? Yes or
He
no?
said pure substance is
No, sir.
no mixing
No.
another substance.
Okay. So pure substance is that substance which have a fixed chemical composition all along the substances. Okay, that means a substance can be only pure when they have a very fixed chemical composition throughout the matter. That is called your pure substance. Some examples are water, helium, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. Okay, but uh, you consider that for to be a pure substance, it doesn't need that a single chemical element is enough for a pure substance. Okay, it may be a mixture of two or more elements, but their mixture should be homogeneous throughout. Okay, so the mixture of the two or more substance can be a pure substance if it is homogeneous, like ice and water. Okay, because ice and water, they have the same chemical composition, though their phase is different, but they are made of the same chemical composition. Similarly, water or steam, though they are liquid and gas, but their chemical composition is same, so those substances can be considered as homogeneous. Okay, or sorry, it can be considered as pure substance because they are homogeneous. Okay, so if you see this figure, vapor and liquid, this water, it is a pure substance. Okay, this water from liquid to vapor, it converts. Similarly, but air, you will see liquid to convert, because the composition of liquid air is different from the water. Okay, so that's why you cannot say this air, here vapor and liquid, these are the same chemical composition, so this is not a pure substances. Okay, but here water, liquid and vapor, they have the same chemical composition, but air, they are not, they don't have the same composition. Liquid air is different, so that's why you cannot say this combination is not, this mixture is not considered as your pure substance. Okay, so what are the phases of a pure substance? Okay, already you know, because in your previous classes you have read what is solid, what is liquid, what is gas. Okay, so a pure substance generally consists of three principal phases. One is your solid, one is your liquid, and one is your gas. Okay, but these substances can, maybe they have different other phases. Okay, within this principal phases, suppose you consider solid carbon. Okay, solid carbon, that means diamond and graphite. Okay, it mix, so they have the other phases except solid, liquid, and gases. Similarly, iron, they have three solid phases. Okay, that means within these principal phases they may have more than one phases. That's why this thermodynamics, they doesn't deal, that means they dealt primary phases as well as the your the other phases also. Okay, generally, but here we will discuss about the primary phases, that means solid, liquid, and gaseous phases. So some properties of the solids, you see, in general, the solids have strongest molecular bonds. Okay, why they require strongest molecular bonds? Strongest molecular bond is required for this. That means they are very tough. And these solids are closely packed in the three-dimensional crystals, and their molecules, they don't move relative to each other. Okay, that's why solids are very much tough and you cannot break easily, because they have higher molecular bonds. That means strong molecular bonds. They are very closely packed and their molecules, they do not move relative to each other. But in case of gaseous, liquid, you see that intermediate molecular bond strength is not so much high. Okay, that means the molecular bond strength is in between your liquid and solid and gaseous. That means they have intermediate molecular bond strength, and this molecular spacing, it is more as compared to solids, but their molecules can float about in the groups. Okay, and if you compare gases have the weakest molecular bond strength. Okay, because due to this they can float very easily. So, and they don't have any weight. You don't feel any weight. Okay, but they don't have any ordered structure. That means they are random. That means they can have oriented structure. So that's why molecules in the gas spaces, they are far apart and they have no ordered structure. The molecules, uh, they move randomly and they can collide each other. That the molecules of these gaseous phases, they have higher energy levels. So that means large amount of energy should be released so that the gas can condense or freeze. Otherwise, it is impossible. Okay, so these are some few properties of these three phases: solid, liquid and gases. So maybe in exam it may become like that: what are the fundamental properties of solids, what are the fundamental properties of liquid, what are the fundamental properties of the gases. So you have to answer like this. Now the main point comes: phase. Okay, sense processes of pure substance. So how we can sense the phase, okay, of the pure substances. Here we are considering generally the phase change from liquid to solid phase, though so not so much it is dealt in thermodynamics from solid to liquid or liquid to solid. Generally, uh, it deals with the phase change liquid to gases or gases to liquid or vice versa. Okay, for generating power. Suppose we are considering from here water you kept in a piston cylinder at room temperature, suppose 20 degrees centigrade, and normal atmospheric pressure. Okay, at normal atmospheric pressure, suppose 1 atmosphere, and at room temperature 20 degrees centigrade, water is kept in a piston cylinder device. Okay, now what will be the condition of the water? The water will be in the liquid phase and it is called your compressed liquid, or you can say it as subcooled liquid. Okay, that means it is not about to vaporize. The subcooled liquid is not about to vaporize. So you see this figure, this is the compressed liquid. Okay, compressed liquid, or you can say this is called subcooled liquid. But when we add heat to the water, suppose we heat the water up to the 30 degrees centigrade, what will happen there? When we heat the water, that means temperature will increase. Okay, temperature, suppose it increases up to 50 degrees centigrade. Okay, So due to the increase in temperature, what will be the changes? It's the specific volume V will be increasing. Okay, when the specific volume will increase, what will happen? The piston will little bit move. Okay, that means due to the increase of volume, the piston will move. So that's why, as a consequence, the piston will move slightly upward, but maintaining the constant pressure 1 atmosphere. Okay. Now, if we continue heat water up to the temperature increase of 100 degrees centigrade, what will happen? After this point, so at this point, if we add any additional heat of, then water, some heat will be vaporized. Okay, this heat will vaporize some water. That means some water will be vaporized. If we heat water a little amount above 100 degrees centigrade, okay, this specific point where water starts to vaporize, it is called your saturated liquid. Okay, that means when it reaches a temperature and a additional amount of heat, when it transfers water to vaporization, then that point it is called your saturated liquid. That means up to that point, the water liquid will be vaporized. Okay, above that point, the liquid the liquid will be vaporized. That point is called your saturated liquid. So this one, you see this one, this liquid will be saturated liquid. So if you continue heat water, more and more vapor will be your created. But the condition is that temperature and pressure will be remaining constant. The temperature will be at 100 degrees centigrade and pressure is at 1 atmosphere. Why it is happen? Because that is only one property it is changing. Okay, only the specific volume changing. Due to the specific volume changing, the from liquid to vapor it is changing. Okay, that means water will be converting from saturated liquid to the vapor liquid. So if we add heat to water, more and more vapor will be created due to the change in the specific volume. Okay, so these conditions will remain the same until the last drop of the vapor liquid is vaporized. Okay, that means when all the liquid is vaporized, that point it is called your saturated vapor. Okay, that means at this point the entire cylinder will be filled up with vapor at 100 degree centigrade. If we add more amount of heat, temperature will not increase. If you increase this heat also, and that point it is called your saturated vapor. Okay, very important these things. That and the state between this saturated liquid and the saturated vapor, it is called your saturated liquid vapor mixture. This is called saturated liquid vapor mixture. You see this one. So vapor is there, liquid is there. So that is called your saturated vapor liquid mixture. The mixture, that means the state between the saturated liquid. This is saturated liquid. This is saturated vapor. Okay, saturated vapor means only vapor where your two phases exist. It is called your saturated liquid vapor mixture. So this one, after the saturated vapor phase, if we add any amount of heat, it will increase the temperature of the vapor. Okay, that means temperature will not increase. That means vapor temperature will be increased. Okay, that is called, after the saturated vapor phase, any addition of heat will increase the temperature of the vapor. That means vapor temperature will be increases, and that temperature it is called your state. That state is called your superheated vapor. That means after saturated vapor phase, if we add any extra amount of heat, then the temperature of the vapor will be will be increased, and that is called your superheated vapor. That is very high heat vapor. Okay. Now this is the diagram. Okay, TV diagram means your temperature and volume diagram. Okay, change of the volume, temperature and volume diagram. So from 20 degree to 100 degree centigrade, how this phases changes you can see at the constant pressure. Okay, so from one, if you see that one, the liquid is compressed at that position. So up to that, we got two position. Okay, two position, there will be your saturated mixture position. Saturated mixture means saturated liquid and saturated vapor. Okay, up to 2 3 4 position. Okay, from 3 position, if at 4 position, if your saturated vapor is heated beyond heated some more heat, then that saturated vapor will be your converted into your superheated vapor. Okay, superheated vapor. So this is your TV diagram, temperature volume diagram, representing phase change for water at constant pressure. Okay, so this concept of phase changes, it can be applied to any pure substance other than water also. Okay, we can apply to any pure substance this concept, that means phase change from saturated vapor, how compressed liquid is converted to the saturated vapor, then to superheated vapor. So this concept you can apply to any other pure substance except water also. Okay, other than water. Now we will study saturation temperature and saturation pressure. Okay, saturation means that the extreme limit. Okay, after that we know the saturation. Okay, saturation of the solid liquid. Okay, we go saturation means it is completely filled with that solid and liquid, that is called saturation. Yeah, now here we have to know what is it, what does mean by saturation temperature and saturation pressure. Okay, so we know that during the phase change, pressure and temperature are not independent intensive properties. Okay, intensive properties means the properties which depend on some data. Okay, that is called your intensive properties. Okay, so they are pressure and temperature, they don't have any intensive properties. Okay, during the phase change conditions. So due to this, the temperature at which water starts boiling depends on the pressures. Okay, that means water start boiling at 100 degrees centigrade, but only at the 1 atmospheric pressures. Okay, the condition is like that, at 1 atmospheric the water boils at 100 degrees centigrade, but at different pressures water boils at different temperatures. Okay, that means now saturation temperature definition is like that, at a given temperature, sorry, at a given pressure, the temperature at which a pure substance changes phase is called the saturation temperature. Okay, mind it, at a given pressure, the temperature at which a pure substance changes phases is called your saturation temperature. Similarly, at a given temperature, the pressure at which a pure substance changes phase is called saturation pressure. Okay, the same concept. One, at the temperature at which a pure substance changes phase is called saturation temperature. Likewise, at a given temperature, the pressure at which a pure substance changes phases, it is called your saturation pressure. Now we'll study property diagrams for phase change process. Okay, that means how the phase is changing, what is the property diagrams, that things we have to know. So if you see, if we increase this pressure of water in the piston cylinder devices, what will happen? The process from compressed liquid to superheated paper will follow a path that looks like the process for P equal to 1. The only difference is that the width of the mixture region will be shorter. Okay, that means in the pressure piston cylinder device, if you see that water is there, compressed liquid is there, so there what we do, there we keep the pressure constant. Okay, we keep the pressure constant, we increase the temperature from 20 to 100 degrees centigrade. Then what happened there? So in here, if we increase the pressure, the process from the compressed liquid to the superheated vapor, it will follow the definite part. Okay, like the process at which P equal to 1 atmosphere, it will follow the same path like this one, but the difference of the width of the mixer it will be or shorter. Okay, because we are keep pressurizing. Okay, that's why the mixer region will be very short, but here there only the volume will be increasing. Okay, because we are not increasing the pressure, but here we are increasing the pressure through the mixer region. The shorter region will mixer region will be your short. Okay, so the definition of the critical point we can give like this, because at certain pressure the mixer region will be represented by only one point. Okay, suppose at one point the mixer will be there. Okay, so that what is that point? Okay, so that point it is called your critical point. At a certain pressure the mixer region will be represented only by one point, and that point is called critical point. Okay, that means it is defined as the point, and it is defined as the point at which saturated liquid and vapor saturated vapor states are identical. Okay, the states of the saturated liquid and saturated vapor, the point at which the saturated liquid and saturated vapor states are identical, and that point is called your critical point. At a critical point, the properties of a substance are called critical properties. Okay, at that point, when your temperature will deal, that is that temperature will be called your critical temperature, pressure will be called your critical pressure, and critical when we consider specific volume, and that volume will be called as a critical specific volume. Okay, suppose example, water at this one pressure, critical pressure 22.09 megapascal, temperature will be this one. Okay, at this combination your saturated liquid and saturated vapor states are identical for water. Okay, and specific volume will be your 0.003113155 meter cube per kg. Similarly for air it is shown, this is the condition for a critical point, and this is the values of critical temperature, critical pressure, and critical specific volume for water and air. So this one, you see this one, what I have shown there. Okay, so you this one TV diagram. If you want to see this critical, so this is the saturated liquid, and this is the saturated vapor. Okay, so their states are almost identical. Okay, at the critical point. Okay, so you see this critical point is how much? Pressure is your 22.09, temperature is 374.14, and 0.0315. That means at this condition the saturated vapor liquid state and saturated vapor states are identical, so that is called critical point. So this one, so already shown, I have shown in the diagram, it is shown, TP diagram. Okay, temperature and volume diagram. So if we connect all the points representing saturated liquid, we will obtain the saturated liquid line. Okay, if we connect all the points represented saturated liquid, we will obtain the saturated liquid line. So these are saturated liquid line. Okay, and this is the saturated vapor line. These are saturated liquid line, and these are the saturated vapor. Okay, similarly, if we connect all the points represented saturated vapor, we will obtain a saturated vapor line. Okay, you have understood? Up to this point you have understood, dear student?
Yes, sir, somewhat, but sir, we feel little bit past, sir. We
I am
need
going
time to digest the thing. Yeah, yes, sir.
okay.
Need
So
time to
where you
digest
have
the
any doubt,
thing
you can ask
and
me,
observe the
because
thing.
your course is also very huge course. Okay.
Yes, you are going very fast so that we cannot catch the thing,
Okay.
and
So the intersection of the saturated liquid line and saturated vapor line, that is the critical point. Okay, this one is this one. This is the saturated liquid line. Okay, it is coming like that, and this one is the your saturated vapor line. So this is called your critical point. Okay, and this one you see a saturated liquid vapor region. This is the region. Okay, this region is called a saturated liquid vapor region, and this point it is called your superheated vapor region, and this one is your compressed liquid region. Okay, so this one is your first online class for me. That's why uh, I have accept the students who came lately also, because already in the group I have given the information at 9:35 I'll take the class, and likewise I have started the class, but still many of you are coming very lately, because almost the after 5 or 10 minutes I will stop the class, and still I am considering. So this is your first class online, that's why I considered. But from the next class when I take after 9:30, I will allow only up to 10 minutes. Okay, suppose I am taking the class from 9:30, then I will consider up to 9:40, then I will not allow anybody to enter in this class. Okay, keep in mind.
sometimes, sir,
Yeah.
our networks also not support, and then sometimes it got disconnect, and we again have to connect that thing. So that problem
Okay,
are
then
going on.
you give the snapshot in the this one, okay, in the group. Then I can understand, okay. Otherwise, it is difficult for me to every time, because I have to teach you also, and I have to add also like this, okay. That's why.
I got disconnect, that's why.
So this PV diagram, this one is the PV diagram, okay. PV diagram you understood? Pressure and volume diagram, okay. So I will not consider this one, okay, PV diagram. I will, because today will be enough for you. So here I'll stop here, okay. But still I am repeating some of the things. Here I will stop. PV diagram and saturation lines. PV diagram I will teach you in the next class, okay. So still I am just a quick revision I am giving you. That means in the thermodynamics, as we all know, thermodynamics, you have to know that thermodynamics deals with your pressure, temperature, okay, volume, etc. Okay, with its relations to your some energy, some radiation, and other properties. Okay, so this is called thermodynamics. Okay, so thermodynamics here will, if you go for the study of the properties of the pure substance. So pure substance, to say the pure substance, what does actually mean? Okay, this pure substance is nothing but it is the substance which have a some definite chemical composition, or you can say fixed chemical composition, that is called your pure substance. Like example, you can say water, helium, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, etc. Okay, so for to be a pure substance, it doesn't need to be a single chemical element. There may be one or two molecular elements, but they should be homogeneous. That means their chemical composition should be same. Okay. For one example, you can say that mixture of phases of two or more substance can be, if it is homogeneous, like you can say ice and water, because solid and liquid, though their phases are different, but their chemical composition are same. Similarly, water and steam, though their phases are different, their chemical composition are same, so that's why they belong to the same category, okay, of the pure substance. So in this diagram, if you see, here vapor and liquid is there, here vapor and liquid is, but this liquid vapor is different from, it is coming from water, okay. So this vapor and liquid, they have the same formula, but in case of air, because this is, you cannot say that it is the pure substance, because the composition of liquid, air, it is different, okay, it is different. So that's why you cannot consider that this one is your pure substances. Next, what we have studied? We have studied phases of the pure substances. So generally there are three principal phases we considered: solid, liquid, and gas. But within these principal phases, there may be some other phases is also there. But here we will deal only the primary phases. Suppose the other phases may be there in case of solid carbon, diamond, and graphite. In case of iron, we have three solid phases. Okay, but for your courses, we'll study only about this primary phases. That means your solid, liquid, and gaseous phases. Okay, so what we have studied here, solid. In case of solid, what is the properties? Okay, the solids, the properties of the solids, they have the very high molecular bonds. Okay, that's why they are very strong, and they are very closely packed, so in the three dimensions. So, and the molecules, they don't relative to it, so that's why the solids are very tough, it cannot be easily breakable. Okay, but in case of liquid, the molecular bond is little bit lower as compared to your solid, but it is in between your gaseous and solid state, and it is more than the gaseous. Okay, their molecular spacing is also, it is compared to your solids, but their molecules may be float about in the groups. Okay, but in case of gases, the properties of the gases is like that they have the weakest molecular bond. Okay, and these molecules, they are randomly ordered. Okay, and they are very far apart, and they may colloid with each other. Okay, so you know this one, if you study this one, I think you have got this one, kinetic theory of gases, in your high secondary classes. If you know the properties of the gases are it is written very nicely. Okay, the molecules, they have at high energy levels. Okay, so that means to condense or freeze, they must have to release their energy. So this is the some fundamental properties of the solid, liquid, and gases. Now phase, now this is one example how the phase changes happening in case of pure substances. In this example, we considered that this is a liquid. Okay, this is a compressed liquid, it is at 20° room temperature, and it is in a piston cylinder device. Okay, so this liquid, it is called your compressed liquid, or it can called your subcooled liquid. But when we add some heat to this water, the temperature will be increasing. Okay, so let the temperature will be increased up to 50° centigrade. So due to this increase of temperature, what will happen? Because we are keeping that pressure same, so that's why your volume will be your increasing. Okay, specific volume will be increasing, so that due to this, these pistons will be little bit traveling upward side. So it is shown in this below figure. So this one, see, the piston will be, that means the liquid will be little bit relieved. Okay, it will be moved upward. Okay, but pressure will be your constant. So when we heat more heat to the water, the temperature, suppose it will increase until 100° centigrade. So at this point, what it can, if any additional amount of heat is added, it will vaporize, the some water will be vaporized. Okay, that point, it is called your saturated liquid. The specific point where water starts to vaporize, it is called your saturated liquid. So this is called your saturated. That means at this point, the water starts to, some water starts to vaporize. It is called your saturated liquid. So if we continue add heat to the water, more and more vapor of water will generate, but the temperature and pressure, it is remaining constant at T equal to 100° centigrade. Okay, the only property, it is changing only the specific value. Okay, So these conditions will fulfill until the last drop of water is vaporized or last drop of the liquid is vaporized. Okay. So at this point, what happened? The entire cylinder will be filled with vapor at 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. So that condition it will called saturated vapor. That means when you heat the water after reaching 100 degree, the water will be vaporized. So the point at all the water will be vaporized, that is called your, that is that point, that state is called your saturated vapor. Okay. So the state between this saturated liquid, the saturated liquid means only liquid, and the saturated vapor, only vapor exists. So that phase it is called your saturated liquid vapor mixture. So it is shown in this diagram. The state between the saturated liquid, only liquid, and saturated vapor, only vapor, where two phases exist, it is called your saturated liquid vapor mixture. This one. Okay, this is vapor and this is liquid.
Here it is, sir, 50-50.
Pardon?
Vapor is 50%, liquid
Which
is
one?
50%.
Which one?
Here, saturated liquid vapor mixture.
Yeah, saturated vapor means you see, all the vapor have been, that means all the liquid drop has been your converted to the vapor, that point. Okay, and saturated liquid means at the temperature at 100 degrees. This one saturated temperature I have shown is one. It will be, yeah, that means when water will be start to vaporize after reaching 100 degrees centigrade, when we add some heat to the water, that is called your saturated liquid. Okay, and or when all the water has been converted into vapor, that point is called your saturated vapor. Okay, or state is called your saturated vapor. Understood? Okay, and that state between the saturated liquid means only liquid, and saturated vapor only vapor, where these two phases exist, it is called your saturated liquid vapor mixture. And when all the water has been vaporized, okay, when all the water has been vaporized, that means if we add any addition amount of heat, then what will happen? It will increase the temperature of the vapor. That means vapor temperature will be increased after all addition of the saturated vapor. Okay, after reaching the saturated vapor phase, if we add any addition amount of heat, it will increase the temperature of the vapor, and that state is called your superheated vapor. Okay, so in this diagram, if you see this one, in this TV diagram, you
Excuse
see,
me, sir.
pardon?
Sir, we have another class now.
Okay, fine. Okay, just I am leaving. Okay, just this diagram. Okay, so this is the TV diagram. Here shows the temperature from 20 to 100 degree it is coming. Okay, and this one, you see this one, this is the compressed liquid. Initially after reaching temperature 2, it becomes saturated. The line is showing here. Okay, saturated. So here after here all the liquid has been, that means some of the water will be vaporized here in the saturated mixture. So when all the water has been vaporized, that is called your saturated vapor in this position. Okay, when after all the after this saturated vapor state, if we add any additional amount of heat, that heat will convert this vapor, it will superheated vapor. That means vapor temperature will be increasing. Okay, it is shown nicely in this diagram. Okay, at constant pressure. Okay, then I conclude today's class. What you do actually, you give your enrollment ID in our group, because here I am because once the link I have disconnected, your attendance will be gone. Okay, that's why you just keep your enrollment ID in our WhatsApp group. Okay, that will be better, so that I can give your attendance. And remember, once I give you, that means your attendance and upload the video, you don't forget to read that video. Okay, if you don't read the video, it will your attendance will not be shown there. Okay, yeah, okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.